What's up, everybody? It's Hector from InsertName FC. The clip that you will be watching is from episode 161, and this is a preview for the upcoming final that's happening Friday on BN Sports of the African Cup of Nations. So it's going to be an interesting final. Two interesting storylines. One full of drama, the other one uh, of a team that really everyone expected to be in the final. But I think it's going to be a really good one. I understand Super Bowl weekend, it's coming up, but if you guys are interested, go ahead and check out the African Cup of Nations final. It's going to be an awesome final. The atmosphere is going to be an amazing atmosphere. So maybe a little pregame, if you will, for the Super Bowl that's coming up on Sunday. So hopefully you guys enjoy the clip. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and check out all the other great content creators here at BellyUpSports. So thank you so much and enjoy.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
I mean, we have a final. It's
Yes.
Nigeria versus Ivory Coast. When you look at Nigeria, they were the runner-ups of Group A.
Yep.
And how they got here, they beat Cameroon, they beat Angola, and they beat South Africa. I will honestly say, besides Cameroon, Angola and South Africa were two really strong teams in this tournament.
Yep.
And for Nigeria, most of the time, I think if you're that runner up, obviously you're thinking you're going through a more difficult bracket because you're already having to go up against a group winner.
Okay. Yes.
But I mean, of all teams that have, I mean, I would take Cameroon in a heartbeat. But I think so it was an interesting situation for Nigeria, but they definitely had the rougher. I mean, both these teams had a very difficult road, but
Oh yeah.
but yeah, Nigeria, a team that I think a lot of people thought would be here in some sense, was definitely a heavy favorite in this tournament.
Yeah, they always are.
And they're in the final. Maybe not necessarily the best Nigerian team, I would say, but hey, you got to win your games, and that's exactly what they did.
And yeah, tenfold. And looks like they're saving everything as for the final. I would definitely say that Nigeria is the favorite to win, but you wouldn't bet the house because Ivory Coast has like everything going their way, which is unhealthy. But yeah, I'm speechless when it comes to Ivory Coast.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Ivory Coast, they were the third place team in Group A. As a matter of fact, they were the final best third place team out of all the teams that finished in third place in the tournament. Barely made it into the knockout round.
Yep.
And you have to face off Senegal.
Yep. And
you go to penalties. I know you don't want to. You don't want to relive it.
Trust me, I'm reliving it with a lot of people reaching out. Nigerians, especially.
Don't worry. As negative things as I say about Tottenham, I get reminded when Tottenham wins.
Different discussion.
Different discussion. They had to go up against Mali, which was your dark horse team, a team that looked really good. I don't know what happened in that game.
They didn't finish.
They just didn't finish, but I was just like, is this the same Mali team I've been watching this entire time? Because I think it was my fault. I think because I think I said after Mali won in the round of 16, I was like, I need to start sipping the Mali Kool-Aid. So maybe I jinxed Mali. But
nah, I think it's just AFCON that jinxed them.
Yeah. And then to go, and then beat Congo 1-0 in a just, I don't want to, boring is not the word, but obviously, finishing wasn't there, missed opportunities. Honestly, there was times where Ivory Coast could really just put this game out of reach, but they just couldn't finish it right. And I mean,
Yeah,
of all the goals to go in, it was probably the most unlikely one, but a lucky bounce also for them to get there. But
yeah, that one is, you take your shot and hope for the best. And yeah, that I'm sure the goalie will have nightmares on that one for quite a while.
yeah, and now we have a final: Nigeria and Ivory Coast. I mean,
That's gonna be a fun one.
it's gonna be a fun one.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask this: are you gonna go with the home field, the home crowd? Is that gonna be a factor? Obviously, it should be. It's a final. Um,
I
but
wouldn't be
does
surprised
this
if
luck continue?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if half of Nigeria travels to Ivory Coast, which is not that far out. But I would still say the home field advantage will work. But now the question will be how clinical Nigeria will be. If Nigeria finishes their opportunities, I don't see where Ivory Coast will come back to it. But as long as it's a tie game or it's a close game, the longer they go, I will then give that to Ivory Coast because it looks like as they get their confidence up, that's when they're starting to play a lot better. Because if you look at all of the goals that they've scored, was not on the first half, was towards the either towards the end of the first half or the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that coach is doing wise, but it's an amazing run. If they win it, that will be one for the books because it would be almost like the whole Argentina at the World Cup getting beat by Saudi Arabia, and everybody's like, "Oh snap! This is not going well." And then as the tournament goes, they go in the final. There you are. You have Ivory Coast in the final, and all
I'm
bets are off
That's
now.
a valid point because I mean a lot of people were saying that that Argentina team that won in Qatar was the worst Argentinian team anybody's ever seen. And
Yeah, because I
I
guess
don't
they
know if
have
people
only
are,
two good players, but yeah, I
yeah.
think they was younger players, and it was what just Messi and Di Maria. That was like the huge names.
Yeah, and Otamendi who somehow still had a job.
Yeah,
So
that's different question. Yeah, I think it's just like the buildup of teams knowing that they have their a luck with them, but also the skills to do it.
yeah,
Once
I
you put those
mean,
two together, it's like, dang,
sometimes you need a little luck,
yes.
especially with tournaments. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a little luck on your side.
Oh, you need
Um,
it.
yeah, you need it to win these things, but
Yes.
yeah, man, it, it's interesting. I really am like intrigued by this just because like I didn't even have any hope for the Ivory Coast
No, but
from the start.
mean,
I mean, I
at
think
least
I had more hope for Ghana than I did for Ivory Coast. Um, and
I think just the players the country had that much hope for him. And
yeah, and it's
yeah,
just crazy
that
to
was,
think because you fire your coach
yeah.
and yeah, then all of a sudden it's just everything. I don't even want to say the words clicking because I mean I just don't think it's not like the wins that they've had have been like they're clearly the best team on the field if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Okay.
They were at the moment. I guess we'll say they will. Yes, they were. I guess we'll call it.
They weren't pretty
Yeah.
wins, is what I'm saying. The wins
Yeah.
weren't pretty,
Yes.
but they got the
Well,
win. And I mean
it's a tournament, though.
that's what you need to do in tournaments.
Yes.
You're not going to win pretty. You're not always going to win pretty.
Exactly.
And so, and I mean, you can even on the flip side, Nigeria, they haven't necessarily won pretty either. So, I think AFCON just, it's just been this tournament has just been very unpredictable. If you would have told me, I would have been boring and saying Senegal versus Egypt again.
Yeah, I think everybody had Senegal, Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, Nigeria, Morocco. Those the World Cup teams that
mhm.
typically do well. Um, even though those Nigeria and Ivory Coast are World Cup teams that do well, it's just not as recent.
Mhm.
But um, if Osimhen opens the gates and score, I think that's where things could go bad. Or as long as the game is tied or close, Ivory Coast has every chance to win it all. And winning it at home is a different feeling.
Yeah, I think the big key factor will be how physical can Ivory Coast stay, because I think the passing of Nigeria is definitely going to be a big threat.
Yep.
I think they're really good at moving the ball. They move the ball very fluid in Nigeria. And but I think Ivory Coast, they play very physical. And I think that's also one of the things that has helped them so far in this tournament, is just playing with that physicality. Um so I mean, I think as long as Ivory Coast can maintain that physicality, because I think when you go up against a team like Nigeria, I think that might be a team that maybe mismatch would be a mismatch for the Ivory Coast. But like you said, I think if Victor Osimhen can, this is where we need to see a little bit more from Victor Osimhen, and start, scoring goals. Um, Not saying that he hasn't been contributing throughout the tournament. Like you said, you've mentioned how he's been contributing. But I think this is where you kind of need him to be the guy up front.
Uh,
Especially against that defense that the Ivory Coast has.
that will be his moment now, will be like to put him on that thing where even the Ballon d'Or discussion,
Mm-hmm.
that's like now if he was to carry the team to win it, he has that Scudetti now that he wanted last year. Now if he makes it happen, the African Cup of Nations, that's all into one cycle. And then after that, there will be the Euros that are coming this year, if I
Yep,
remember.
Euro this summer, Copa
Yeah.
America this summer.
So he will have his chance that, if one of the American teams, if one, I don't even know if there's one person that's standing out in South America at this moment that's like Ballon d'Or um status.
Um, no, I think this year, I think it's at least this season's very open, but obviously I think
It's did Holland make the World Cup?
it's
Oh, he
definitely
doesn't make it. But he didn't make the World Cup. The Norway, I don't think they qualified.
oh, I don't think they made it. Maybe they didn't make it to Euro.
Yeah.
But
So that means
I
that's
mean,
almost wide open for
yeah.
Osimhen now. If he kills it now, what else can they say? He got his club team a world tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and unless someone does something crazy in the Euros, I don't see anyone that can almost dispute that.
Yeah, and they have and also Napoli has a very interesting matchup with, I believe it's Barcelona, um, where that could be a potential. They could probably beat Barcelona and move on, especially the way Barcelona's been playing lately.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, Champions League is also something that could still be in discussion for Osimhen as well.
Yep.
So I mean, I'll be clear. I'm going with Nigeria. I feel like I'm gonna regret that, but at the same time, I'm not. I think we've been doubting the Ivory Coast, but I just don't think this luck can last this long. Um,
Yeah.
especially when it's a team like Nigeria. I'm saying all these things, and I've said the same thing over, but I'm going with Nigeria. I mean,
It's fair.
it's fair. I think
Yes.
this could be a real coin toss. I think when it comes down to just tactics in general, I like what Nigeria has over what Ivory Coast has. And I mean, I'm a big believer in the physicality. I love watching a dude with that dog mentality, which is what Ivory Coast has been.
Oh yeah.
But when you go up against a team like the way Nigeria plays, I think they're gonna be able to. You can't be physical forever, and eventually you're gonna get worn out, especially with a team that can pass the ball. And I think that's what Nigeria can do, and so that's why I
Nigeria's
kind of
got some strong guys. However, he's a big dude. Some of those guys
yeah.
are maybe Osimhen is a little bit shorter, but he
Oh,
got
he's
some
not afraid.
covers.
He plays in Italy. I
Yes.
know for a fact he can hang. So
He has a mask on.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm going
and
with Nigeria. Who are you picking?
I'm going slightly Nigeria. So out of 100, I would say I am 70-30. Nigeria.
Okay, I'm roughly there with you.
Yeah,
I'm also roughly there with you. I mean, I can't underestimate this Ivory Coast team.
yeah. I'll.
I mean, they
It's
both played against each other. They've
yes,
already played. They were literally in the same group. I don't know how. I don't think there's many time. I don't think there's that many times where you could say that the teams already played each other and are facing each other in the final.
yeah.
Um,
But I would say that Ivory Coast is a different team than.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
think it.
Definitely. Definitely
They
different
pressed
team.
the reset button.
They're definitely a complete. Yeah. This is redemption time for Ivory Coast. But yeah, I'm pulling for Nigeria. You're pulling for Nigeria. But we're not. We're also not going to underestimate this Ivory Coast team.
No.
This final is going to be awesome. It's going to
Yes.
be Sunday. Sunday, correct? Yeah.
Uh,
Man, that's gonna
yes.
be Sunday's gonna be a busy day for me. I'm gonna have AFCON early in the day, and then I'm gonna have the Super Bowl. So that's gonna
Yeah, I've heard there's something like that that's happening on Sunday.
the other football.
Yes. Oh, trust me, I'm in St. Louis. Kansas City is right next door. I lived in Kansas City.
Oh
This
man.
this is all we're going. That's all they're talking about. And you know who I have to technically root for. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, I mean, see, like, here's the thing. Because Patrick Mahomes is from Texas, so
okay, there you
I
see.
like my Texas boys, but
Mhm.
I'm also really tired of watching the Chiefs win.
Hey, just give him one more.
I mean, I won't be mad. I will not be mad if Patrick Mahomes wins another trophy. I've liked how that team has done things. It's kind of they built that team up. It's not like they did anything like shicey to get where they are. So you can respect the team, but it's like it's one of those things when you see a team winning. They're basically the Golden State Warriors. Like they just
Okay.
they win too much, and then now you get tired of it. But unless you're a fan, then you're never gonna get tired of it. But
Uh,
no, I mean I can't wait. I think the Super Bowl's gonna be great. Also, AFCON's gonna be great. So you're gonna have
yes.
if you're an American, watch start your day with some AFCON and then conclude it with Super Bowl. And I mean Usher's gonna sing the halftime show, so it's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a great night for
Ushers
everybody.
everywhere. Come on.
Usher's just everywhere. um, but obviously, this is not the last time we're gonna see you, Moussa, because you're gonna come back to recap the final. Hopefully, we picked the
Oh,
right team. Hopefully, but if not,
yeah.
I wouldn't be mad either. I think these are two great teams to lift the African Cup of Nations to represent the champions of Africa. Also,
Yeah.
FIFA, bring back the Confederations Cup. I think that'd be really cool to bring that back. Um,
Yeah. I'm sure if there's enough money, it'll come back.
yeah, definitely. But
Yeah, and I think the best time that we are now is that we're watching football as neutrals, which
mhm.
makes it a lot more enjoyable
Yeah,
because
definitely.
now you have no stakes. So now you just get to enjoy, you know, the fruit of great soccer. And it's on Sunday now. We don't have work, nothing to worry about, just sports.
Exactly. Amen to that. But all right, Musa. Obviously, this is the time where you can go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug, anything that big's coming your way over at Mo Football.
Okay. Yes. So as usual, Mo Football podcast and Mo Football in all social platform. And also don't forget to go and check my interview with Kevin Cho, um, which was a very fun one. And I have a few more interviews coming up soon with players from the MLS, USL, and also NPSL
Ooh,
very
man.
soon. So um, the goal now is not only to promote not only the MLS but also some of the in quotes lower leagues and also all the way down to like the UPL and the local teams here. So from all amateur all the way to professional, kind of just talk soccer, promote it all across, and just enjoy life.
That's a great way to do it, man. All right,
It's
Musa, thank you so much, man. We'll definitely have you. I can't wait to have you on next week to recap the final.
it's gonna be fun. It's thank you for having me and it's a pleasure talking soccer or football.
Always.